Hello citizens of our nation, RAWR here, and today we'll be talking about the new film, Best Friends. Best Friends stars Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero, who are well known for their work on the infamous film The Room, in their first collaboration in over 15 years. Best Friends is presented in 2 volumes, the first of which was released earlier this year, and the second was released this past weekend. The film tells the story of 2 men who form an unlikely friendship and their journey across the Southwest, during which they learn valuable lessons about greed, hatred, jealousy, and friendship. Tommy Wiseau is not a good actor, but if you know anything about him, you'll know that he is very weird, eccentric, and a bit charismatic. That being said, his role in the film, Harvey, felt like it was tailor-made for him. It didn't feel like he was playing a character. Rather, it felt more like he was playing an exaggerated version of himself, which actually worked. Greg Sestero is a fine actor, and his off-screen friendship with Tommy Wiseau really comes off on-screen. You can see why these two have remained friends for so long, and despite their shortcomings in the room, they actually work pretty well together. This movie is weird, and it only gets weirder and weirder as it goes on. But there is a certain charm to it. Despite some of the darker elements, this was actually a pretty heartwarming film that will give you several good laughs along the way. Speaking of the laughs, the film has a very unique sense of humor that complements the darker elements. Think of The Room's so bad it's good type of humor, but more natural and grounded in reality. I really quite enjoyed the humor. As I mentioned before, the film is split into 2 parts. Unfortunately, it fails to justify doing so. There are times, particularly in Volume 1, where the film just seems to drag on and go at a really slow pace. Both parts together combine for a total runtime of a little less than 4 hours, but I do feel that this story would have flowed much better had it been trimmed down to 2.5 hour film. Also, visually, the film is pretty displeasing and ugly to look at. Visually, there are moments where I felt like I was watching a student film with an inexperienced cinematographer. It didn't look like they did any color correction or color grading whatsoever, which is very odd given that this is a somewhat high-profile film. I mean, even The Room looked better visually than this. All in all, while Best Friends is by no means a cinematic masterpiece, it is a fond, funny, and heartwarming story about the trials and tribulations of true friendship. On my rating scale, Best Friends gets a 7 out of 10. Have you guys seen it? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Or do you want to see it? Why not? Comment down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe today for more content. RAWR signing out here. Farewell, citizens of our nation, and I will catch you guys next time.